When I first began my journey of learning English, I tried all sorts of methods. I signed up for numerous courses, both free and paid, and invested in a stack of grammar books and vocabulary guides. I even used various apps and watched instructional videos. Despite all this effort, I often felt stuck. Traditional methods felt rigid and uninspiring, and I wasn't seeing the progress I hoped for. Feeling frustrated, I decided to take a different approach. I remembered how much I enjoyed stories as a child, how they could transport me to different worlds and make learning feel like an adventure. That's when it hit me. Why not try learning English through stories? I searched online and found a YouTube channel where a friendly narrator would read simple stories aloud while the text appeared on the screen. These stories were designed for beginners, so I decided to give it a try. I'd read along with the narrator, using a translator whenever I came across a word I didn't know. It was slow going at first, and I often wondered if this would be yet another method that wouldn't work for me. But soon, I began to notice something incredible. Gradually, I needed the translator less and less. I started to understand new words from the context of the story itself. When a story described a giant tree in the forest, I didn't need to translate the word giant to picture it in my mind. It felt like I was learning English in a more natural and intuitive way. Encouraged by my progress, I made this a daily habit. I started looking forward to these story sessions. The more I listened and read, the more engaged I became. I wasn't just learning English anymore. I was enjoying it. Each story was like a new adventure, and I found myself immersed in the characters and their lives. This method transformed learning from a chore into something I genuinely looked forward to. Over time, my vocabulary grew naturally. I wasn't memorizing long lists of words anymore. Instead, I was picking them up effortlessly from the stories. I began to understand phrases and expressions I had never encountered in textbooks. I found myself thinking in English and sometimes even dreaming in English. It was a huge breakthrough for me. Realizing how effective this method was, I decided to share my experience with others. I knew that if it worked for me, it could work for others too. That's when I started my own YouTube channel, where I create simple yet engaging stories for English learners. In each video, I read the story aloud while the text appears on the screen, just like the videos I used to watch. I choose stories that are not only easy to follow, but also captivating, so that learning English doesn't feel like studying, but more like experiencing a good book. I believe that when you're invested in a story, your focus shifts from learning to enjoying. You start to care about what happens next, and as you follow along, you naturally begin to absorb the language. This way, you're not just learning new words or grammar rules, you're experiencing the language in context. So, if you're just starting out or feeling stuck in your English learning journey, I encourage you to try this method. Find stories that interest you, ones that are slightly above your current level but not too difficult. Listen to them, read along, and let yourself get lost in the story. Don't worry if you don't understand every word at first. Trust that your brain is absorbing more than you realize. Over time, you'll find yourself understanding more and more, and your confidence will grow. That's the beauty of this approach. It's not about studying hard or memorizing rules. It's about immersing yourself in the language in a way that's enjoyable and meaningful. And that's what I aim to create with my channel. A place where you can learn English naturally, one story at a time. Learning a language should be an adventure, not a chore, and with the right approach, it can be. So join me on this journey, and let's explore the world of English together, one story at a time. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Your support helps grow our community and inspires me to create more engaging stories that make learning English enjoyable for you. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so feel free to leave a comment and let me know what you enjoy and what I could improve. Your feedback is always appreciated.